Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do a reading. It is for the week ahead, Cancer. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I'm going to do a 9-card read, Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for you, whether you are a Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter sign. This is not just a sun sign read. Don't forget that there is that private reads are open. You'll find all of that information in the pinned comment above all of the comments. Take a look at the Hypsee link. Let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Cancer. I was going to be here yesterday to read for you, but Mother Nature had other plans. We were under a tornado watch yesterday again. Let's find out what's going on with Cancer. All right, got the Ace of Cups. Well, I like it. Let's find out what else is going on here. We've got the Empress energy. Well, I'm going to say you're making a choice here that is going to cause your abundance to overflow. You're about to hit something good. It feels like something's about to go in a really good way for you. The Empress to me is abundance, right? It's abundance. It's I did this by myself. This is somebody who's in a single energy. The Empress is abundance, love, happiness, right? This is Venusian energy, and right now Venus is in conjunction with in a conjunction with Jupiter, right? Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion and abundance, right? So here we are, and it feels like there's some sort of choice you're about to make, whether that's about a person or something else, maybe a money thing, that you're making the right choice, I would say, because your cup is about to overflow with emotional goodness, happiness, and possibly money, because I do see fish and water as money. Let's find out what else is going on for you, Cancer. Well, right out the gate, here we go. We've got the 9 of Cups. This is something that is going to not only make you happy, but bring you joy. I feel like this 9 of Cups, though, tells me that you built it by yourself, because the 9s are about something that we build on our own and nobody can take it from us. This is actually the only thing that people can't take from you. They can take your material wealth, they can take whatever they want, but once you have built your fortress, once you are the Empress, and once you are ruling your own empire here, the 9 of Cups is just to follow. It feels like there's something here that you've built on your own, and I feel like a decision that you're about to make about your wish fulfillment is the right decision. Tell me more. All right, look. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, Cancer, but I'm not going to say you're not winning the lottery, Cancer. Look, when all of this goodness is going on and the King of Pentacles shows up saying, oh, look, this is the heart of the matter, we might be talking about your financial life. We might be talking about that job, that dream job. It's not just a job. It's not just bring me a job. And maybe it is. Maybe it's a job that's going to pay you more than you thought it would. But I feel like whatever's going on here is a lot of abundance. So we could be talking about your time, effort, energy, money, or health. Maybe somebody's hitting a really good patch of health. And whatever it is, it's joyful. The 10 of Cups is here. It's not just 8 cups. It's not just 9 cups. It's complete joy. So whatever this is something that I feel is going to affect your pentacle world. So you might be getting the dream job, or you might be getting the job, and thank goodness you did, because maybe you were close to the edge of not having enough for something. But it feels as though somebody notices your worth, I want to say. So if this is somebody who's hiring you and paying you more than you ever thought you'd make, that would account for someone seeing your worth and paying you your worth. When we look at the center, the heart of the matter, it's the reason for the reading, right? So I feel like the reason that we're talking about all of this is because it has something to do with the raising of your kingdom. It's going to benefit your kingdom. We've got the Death card here. Gosh, look, something is big is transforming. Something really big is on the way for you, Cancer. The Death card is here with the Lovers. There is some sort of relationship. If we are talking about a relationship, you guys know I like to jump all over. If we're talking about a relationship, something is transforming between you and another person. Somebody really sees your worth. Somebody feels it's worth it for them to take a chance with you because you are a person who is overflowing in abundance and love and heart space. And it feels like also, if we're talking about money and we're not talking about love, look at this. The hard times are over, friend. You have built yourself to a place. I feel like somebody here has been focusing on themselves. First of all, I feel like you've been focusing on yourself for so long that you didn't even realize that this was coming. So I think it kind of hits you out of nowhere. The death card doesn't really give you any realizations that it's coming, right? It's card number 13, and card number 12 is before this. That's Hanged Man energy. It feels like your life has been in suspension. So I'm going to say that you feel like nothing's moving. Why does Elsie keep saying that everything is going to be lovely when nothing's moving? Well, when the death card shows up, it doesn't call you on the phone and say, hey, I'll be there Tuesday at 2. It just shows up. I think it's probably going to be some sort of wish fulfillment, whether it is money, but it is abundance. It feels like it's going to make you feel overly abundant. It feels like you've been waiting for maybe someone to see your worth, or you've been waiting for a job to come in. It feels like somebody here is going to get paid way more than they thought they would. Maybe you're selling the house. I'm just saying, you're going to get something. Something here is going to be given in an overabundance, because the Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is Taurus, and that Taurus is always an overgiver. We have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Moon. That's what I said. You're minding your own business here. I feel like you were really minding your business. When I see the Queen of Swords and the Empress on the table at the same time as a reader, you may have heard me say this before, to me the last lesson you had to learn before you could step into your Empress energy is the King of Swords energy. And for me as a reader, it feels like it's the hardest lesson to learn. This is something we can flounder on for years and years and years before we actually learn that we have to say what it is that is true. Whether the people around us become uncomfortable about hearing the truth or not, that's not something that I'm invested in. I just am going to say it. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels as though that you have stepped into your Empress energy, whether you're a man or a woman, by the way, because Libra is masculine energy and Taurus is feminine energy. So feminine or masculine energy, I feel like somebody here has finally learned to stand up for themselves, or has liberated themselves from a financial situation. But I don't think that you realized you were doing it, because I think your head was down and you just kept working and working and working and perfecting something. You're very sharp. It feels like somebody might ask you, like pay you a crazy good amount of money to come stand up and speak to a crowd, speak to people, teach something. Maybe you're going to become a professor or a teacher. It feels like you are a subject matter expert on something, and these 9 Pentacles make you independently wealthy. Or this is something that people are looking at you, you're the Empress. It feels like these 9 Pentacles could also be about this reputation you've built, or the confidence that exudes. It feels like you didn't see any of it, because I think that you were so invested with working on yourself and maintaining this pace of mastery, self-mastery here, Cancer, that I don't think that you really realized that the Moon was here. The Moon is here, and what you don't see is that something is showing up, and like I said, it feels almost like a surprise. Like you're not expecting something to show up that does, and it will bring you joy. It does feel like it is something to do with what's going on in your Pentacle world right now. Somebody here is about to see your worth. So whether that means they pay you what you're worth finally, or you finally get the job because they see that you have all the credentials, that you, even though you may not have a certificate, that you are the subject matter expert on something, you've got all the details and the analytics. It feels like things are not as they seem. So if you feel like something is not working out, I would say, hang on a second. Let's put 2 cards down and find out what's going on underneath the surface that you don't see at this time. The Emperor is in the reverse. And the Eight of Wands is here. So I'm going to say at this time, you're out of control. This is not within your control. Nope. I don't feel like you can control this. I don't feel like you want to control this. I feel like you're very invested in working on yourself. But I think that something is going to take off so quickly that it's going to shock you. When the Emperor is in the reverse, it feels to me like you're not in control of any of it. It feels like everything is hanging out in space, and you're no longer in control of your destiny at this time. I think we all fall into this time, in and out of this time, where we think that we're the ones in control. You're not when the majors show up, you're not. And the most important major is here on the table. I would argue the death card brings transformation that you're not aware of that's happening underneath the surface. Something is go time. Let's talk about the Empress here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this thing, I feel like it's something, a seed you planted back there and you left it. You're like, I'm never going to get that. It's never going to be mine. It's never going to work out for me. Because it could be years ago. Like when we say the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, this one is always going to get to the finish line, but it's not getting there in the time you want it to get there. This knight is taking forever. And look, we've got Pentacles. We've got 8, one is 9, one is 10. It could have been 10 years ago. We've got the Ace of Swords. Aha. It's an aha moment or a moment of clarity. You're going to be getting a phone call, communication. Somebody's going to say something. After the longest time, it feels like you are getting communication about the thing that you planted back there. Look, maybe it's something financial. Maybe you invested in something and now the dividends are coming. We've got the Hierophant. It's going to give you stability. I feel like you are patient. I'm going to say that you're a patient one, but I always do liken you, Cancer, to the Taurian, being the Taurus energy of the water signs. It feels like you've been very patient about something that you planted back there, a seed or something you did. It feels like you invested in something and now there's some clarity about it, but you may have forgotten about it so far. Because it wasn't time. The Wheel of Fortune's not here, right? It wasn't the right time for you to know about it. So it feels like if you're a person who has built a business, it feels like that maybe many people have come to you and maybe they said, look, this business is never going to work, Cancer, because you just don't have the right path. You don't have all the information, you don't have the right path, and you stood your ground and said, don't tell me how to run my business. I don't care how long it takes. It will take as long as it takes. And I feel like finally you're in your era of stepping into this Empress energy where everything starts to go right. It's like hitting the jackpot. Like I said, I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery. I'm saying it wouldn't hurt to maybe spend $1, right? Don't go investing a bunch of money in the lottery. That's all I'm saying. But I'm going to say that even if it's not lottery-like, it feels lottery-like. It feels like your luck is changing, something is turning, and it could have to do with money, time, effort, energy, your health, or it also could be something that maybe this is something you've been working on. Maybe you get a clean bill of health. Tell me more about the Nine of Cups. We've got the Page of Wands. There is a messenger coming, my friend, to tell you the truth about something that you were lying to yourself about. It feels like, well, the Five of Swords to me doesn't really tell me that you're lying, but it tells me that you were in a negative headspace about the clarity or the details of something. It's like, but I did all the right things. But I did do that thing correctly. Why isn't it showing up? And then maybe you forgot about it because it was just too negative a place for you to be. It feels like the King of Swords is showing up. The person who has the last word. Something's being said in your favor. Someone's deciding something in your favor. I told you guys, maybe your dream job's coming in, because to me, this is the person who did the interview. And maybe you didn't wait 10 years for this, but maybe you needed the education first. Right? Maybe you got turned away last time because you were not the subject matter expert. But since then, you've been working on yourself. And then maybe you go back and apply for the job. And now somebody sees your worth and pays you what you're worth. This looks to me like somebody is choosing to hire you, or somebody is looking you directly in the eye now. And maybe the last time you saw them, you couldn't look them directly in the eye. I think now you're standing on business. You're not letting anybody pass the boundaries. I'm going to say the Page of Wands tells me that this is like some sort of electronic communication that comes in. A messenger shows up. And I think that the messenger might be the employer, or maybe a contract shows up, something like that. Let's find out what the Death card is about. What's transforming here? Tell me about the Death card. We've got the Three of Swords. Look, you're no longer worried. You're no longer feeling like things are going wrong. You're no longer sad or depressed or feeling disappointed. I can't even. Cancer, is this the best reading I've ever done for you? Oh my gosh, I hope you choose to click and watch, because somebody has something charging at them. There is something, look, I'm just reading the cards as they are, okay? The Knight of Swords is something that's coming in super quick. I think what's coming in super quick is the Page of Wands. I feel like it is a messenger or a message. It will be very clear. It might even be a contract. It feels like it is contractual or is going to last a long time. This is longevity. This is building legacy. It feels like you thought you would never have anything to build your legacy, and all of a sudden everything has changed. But look, it didn't change by magic. It changed because you worked really hard to put up boundaries, to relieve yourself of people, places, situations, and things that no longer served you. It feels like you started putting people behind the boundary and putting yourself first. And I think that's why all this starts to work out for you. But I feel like it had to be a wash, rinse, repeat thing for years before anything could go down in the right timing. It feels like you have liberated yourself. Yeah. It feels like you know what it is? It feels like now you don't give a shit. I'm going to say that's when stuff always shows up. You know, when you've just decided, you know, that's never going to happen. I don't really give a shit. It can happen if it wants. It doesn't have to happen. It can happen if it wants. But look, once you step into the Empress energy, you're now in the energy of attraction. That can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing because it's like a magnet. The magnet doesn't know whether it's attracting the spoon or the paperclip, right? And so it feels like now you're in this super magnetizing energy where everything's coming at you all at once. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit energy. You've been talking to no one, going nowhere, saying nothing. You've been minding your business and building your wealth, or building your health, or building your reputation, or building your repertoire of things that you are the subject matter expert on. You are building your reputation. You're building your confidence. It feels like you have been in Hermit energy for a really long time. You might have built your spiritual muscle. It feels like you are going to be an authority on something here. One more card. We've got the Four of Swords. It's your healing, hun. That's what it feels like. Your healing has taken place, and although you feel like you're out of control, you are in the Empress energy where everything is coming. It's about to come all at you at once. Look, this Eight of Wands is an energy of adventure, things moving forward with velocity. It feels like you're so unsure that you're so sure that you're not in control, you haven't even realized that you're in the Empress energy. So maybe you're not in control of everything and everyone. I feel like you're in control of you. And I don't think you care about whatever's going on around you because I think you're happier than shit. I think you're super happy on the inside, on the outside, and that gives you the energy of, I don't care what happens from here. Whatever happens from here, I'm abundant. I've liberated myself and built my boundaries. I've learned something new. Maybe you've recently gotten a new course online, or maybe you've gotten a doctorate or a bachelor's or a master's in whatever they turned you away from before. This could be about a relationship. This could be about a person. The Lovers is in the room, right? The Moon energy is here. Deep, dark feelings that were hiding under the surface. Somebody here is about to say something. When swords are in the air, and two of them are. When swords are in the air, I got something to say. The King is also facing something head on. Oh boy. You're ending an old chapter and you're going into a new one. This is an accomplishment or a milestone. Let's go into the extended. Cancer, if you want to be there, that's where we're going to be next. And if you want to be in the extended, please look at the pinned comment above all the comments. There is a link there for the membership area. If you're interested in the extendeds that happen for all of the signs, even just one if you're interested, but if you're interested in a private read, please know I'm caught up, and I will be doing readings in the next few days, so you could potentially get your reading back in the next few days if you're interested. And please take the link to Hypsee. You can look over my packages and my pricing. I'm going to go for now, but I will be back because I am always back. Hope to see you in the extended, but if I don't, that's all right. I'll be back for another free reading. Take care, Cancer. Woo, this is good. I can't wait to see who this resonates with. All right, gotta go. Bye.